This is Dan White with another battle report. This time we've got the Theme Force battle report going on. On the left side we've got Tim playing his Legion list. He's playing Epic Vayl with a Succubus, 2 Angelius, 2 Ravagors, a Seraph, Naga Night Lurker, Blightedness Shepherd, 3 Spell Martyrs, and a Spawning Vessel. His objective is Arcane Wonder. And that was 2 Blightedness Shepherds. Theme Force Machinations of Shadow is very popular. It comes with a lot of benefits. Non-characters get AD, +1 to starting roll. War Beast with Flight get +2 speed, and reduce the cost of Heavy War Beast by 1. Essentially, he can get up to around 6 free points. Brandon, on the right hand, is going to be playing Scorn. He's got Supreme Optimus Zaal with his buddy Kovas, Optimus Marketh, Basilisk Kreia, Cyclops Raider, Cyclops Shaman, 2 units of Max Immortals, Praetorian Swordsman with the Officer and Standard Bearer, 2 Extoller Soul Wards, 2 Ancestral Guardians, Hakar the Destroyer, and his objective is the Bunker. Zaal's Theme Force, Immortal Host, also has some very nice benefits. He gets Unlimited Immortals, increase Ancestral Guardians and Soul Wards by +1. Ancestral Guardians get Advanced Deploy, Extollers begin the game with 3 Soul Tokens, and Kovas can start the game in play. He doesn't have to pop out of a dead ward. The scenario is Fire Support. This is a kill box scenario, and you can control the enemy flag for 1 or dominate it for 2, destroy their objective for 1 point. Alright, start of the turn. Brandon with his Scorn. You can see he's got his Guardians Advanced Deploy. He's got a lot of dudes there. It's going to be interesting how he unpacks this army. Starting off with his Swordsman, just giving them a nice run. They're going to go right up the field. I love watching fully painted games. Got some really good painters in my meta. If anyone's curious, we are in Iowa City area. Looks like Brandon nestled Hakar the Destroyer right in between those swordsmen. Now he's running his unit of Immortals on the right flank. Immortals have an outstanding POW with magical weapons. However, they are pretty slow, so I think that rough terrain template right in front of them is going to be problematic next turn. There's going to be a lot of troops wedging between that. His other unit of Immortals are running on his left flank. No surprise, turn 1 in most Warmachine games involves a lot of running. And everybody's favorite Kovas is also running. Looks like he's checking his control area with Zaal. And Zaal is going to do his Soul Converter. He's going to spend 1 Fury to give a soul to each one of his Ancestral Guardians. Pretty sweet ability. And it looks like he put Inviolable Resolve on the unit of Swordsmen. That's going to give him +2 armor and Fearless, which may come into play if they get shot off the table. They don't have to make any command checks. He's spending a couple more Fury to put Last Stand on that right unit of Immortals. And it looks like he may have cast an Animus. I'm going to guess it's the Kreia Animus. Not that he's going to be shot this turn, but if he's trying to dump Fury, why not? Got some Extoller Soul Wards now, just joining in, filling in between the ranks. Optimus Marketh running. see Brandon's kind of counting out how much fury he wants to put on these guys. That way he doesn't forget and need to cut himself next turn. He riled, or actually he cast an Animus with his Kreia. Riled and ran, or just cast it and ran. And these guys are riling and running. Ancestral Guardian is now running up. They're going to be leading the charge, it looks like. He's got that Ancestral Guardian on the right flank with some stolen Retribution weapon. It's a pretty sweet conversion. And now it's Legion's turn. Alright, Tim is running up his spell wards. I'm sure they're going to be causing havoc. Vayl is known in most metas as a horrible assassination caster with that double oblit feat. Actually, probably even triple obliteration. I'm guessing he's going to be doing some aggressive obliterations with those spell wards up there. He wouldn't just throw them away for nothing. He's got his Seraph positioning. I gotta say, the terrain looks great for Tim's Legion. He's got two nice forests there that he can just keep his war beast behind. Seraph taking a shot. Looks like it's boosting. But it must not have hit. He's got his Angelius with that nice flight ability, ignoring that house and just flying right over. It looks like this Angelius is also trying to take a shot. You know, I see... That's one thing with War Room, I can never tell if something's dying or not, but Brandon hasn't removed any models yet, so nothing must be dead. Looks like he's adding some damage to that Ancestral Guardian. Somehow it still lived. It's actually really impressive. Had 3 Warbeasts shooting at it, it's still living. Naga Night Lurkers advancing. Some other spells he could potentially do would be Icy Grip, Obliteration. Those seem like the most offensive spells to use those spell wards for. He's putting Refuge on his Angelius. If anyone has never played against a Refuged Angelius, I envy you. Basically, you know, he can charge in with his armor-piercing attack at full reach distance, and then Refuge allows him to make an advance after that, so he can move back. And that's going to effectively 9 inches from anything he just charged. If he wants, he could even do his Repel Animus and get a charge, repel, move back with Refuge, and now you're 12 inches away from him, so he's effectively charging you with no possibility or little possibility of you getting to hit him back. It's what Legion does. They are a glass cannon. They want to hit an alpha strike. Alright, there's the obliteration, right in the midst of all those squishy swordsmen. But with the armor buff spell, I don't think they're as squishy. I think some of them could live. Got one gun. I got some blast damage. There's another. And see, Brandon is quick to not forget souls for Hakar the Destroyer. I believe he can use those souls to boost melee or attack damage. And for the low price of 1 spell ward, he killed an immortal and 2 swordsmen. And Tim can afford to be very aggressive here with the lack of range options in Brandon's list. He doesn't have to worry about camping too many Fury. His caster's right down the field, completely exposed, but I think the only guns he has are his caster has a gun, and looks like one of his Cyclops has a gun. Yeah, it's not a, there's no real strong range threat. Finally, that Ancestral Guardian dies. I'm sure Tim's relieved about that. Took way too many resources to kill that one model. And little pot crew. The kitchen crew, as they are called. A lot of times you'll see Legion players just use those guys to kill each other, which looks like he's doing right now, so that he doesn't have to wait to get a little lesser war beast. He can pop one out much sooner if they just kill each other. Probably get a shredder out of this. That way he can cast tenacity wherever he needs. Like his guys failed to kill each other, so he relied on a shepherd to get that third little blood token or corpse token for the crew. And the big guns are moving now. Ravagore is going to plant itself in the forest, and I would expect the other one will follow him. Tim's got a great terrain advantage here. I don't know how much Pathfinder Brandon's list has, really. Taking shots, and looks like he missed, but those are going to be a problem because everything except his solos only have 1 box, 1 wound, so those little Scather templates are really good versus Brandon's list. If he strategically places them, it's going to prevent a lot of advancement for Brandon's army. And the slower they move up the table, the more turns Tim can have to just shoot them off. I was actually checking to see if the officer and standard bearer gave his swordsman Pathfinder, but it looks like they just do ranked attacks. So yeah, I'm not sure what Pathfinder Brandon has. He's going to be making a slow advancement, so I'm curious to see how he handles this really intimidating Godline. Starting off his turn with Hakar. Looks like he upkept both Last Stand and the, I want to say, Inviolable Resolve. Double check that. Yeah, Inviolable Resolve. Oh, look how slow those guys are going. Actually, I take that back. That's... Is that a Vengeance movement? Man, I hope that's a Vengeance movement. If that was their actual movement, those guys are toast. Alright, good. They do have vengeance, thank God. Looks like a swordsman just ran right up the middle. Brandon's doing a good job of not throwing away his solo Hakar. He's keeping him on the hill for that extra defense, and he's gonna save him until he knows he can get a charge attack. I think Hakar the Destroyer with those souls could probably take out a War Beast on his own, so be aggressive with your pawns and keep the important solos safe until you can actually use them. Tim's a smart player. If he just charged up there with Hakar, you can bet next turn Tim's just gonna shoot that guy down. He probably still will shoot him down, but at least it's harder now. This could be a feat turn for Brandon. Actually, never. I take that back. This is not a feat turn. Next turn will probably be a feat turn. He'll let all of his guys get killed this turn, then next turn hopefully he'll have enough left that he can boost till his heart's content on all of his solos, or all of his warriors I should say. Kreia, I'm guessing, is going to have that little Animus up all game. If anyone is unsure about Zaal, I'll read you his spell list now. He has Hex Blast and Last Stand, which gives an additional die on attack and damage rolls. If those models hit something, they are destroyed at the end of turn. Currently, Last Stand is on the right unit of Immortals. Sunder Spirit, it's a low-cost offensive spell, and War Beasts hit lose their NOI. Inviolable Resolve, it's a +2 armor and Fearless. That's on the Swordsman. It was last turn. I think he might have dropped that. And actually, I think he may have dropped Last Stand as well. And Awakened Spirit. Put that on one of his War Beasts, and it's an upkeep spell. And the War Beast can use its Animite for free. His feat, if you don't know, is Rage of the Ancients. Every Scorn warrior destroyed, Zaal gains a Rage token. Tokens can be spent by friendly Scorn in control area to boost attack and damage. And that's friendly Scorn warriors, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a really cool timing feat. You wait too long, you don't have enough warriors left to actually do anything with all those tokens. Or if you use it too early, you know, you're not really getting much out of his feat. It's definitely one of the more interesting timing feats that I've seen, because I think the best case scenario is you want half of your army dead, so then the other half, they can all get a boost. That left unit of Immortals, I imagine he's just going to run near the hill. And I think Brandon's plan is still going to be attrition. You know, despite getting 2 rounds of shot in the face, all of his models are effectively threats for those War Beasts. And as soon as he takes a couple of those War Beasts down, like, Brandon's got a real good chance to out-attrition Steve. And just based on their positioning right now, I don't think he's planning for a scenario win. You know, that right flank looks a little light compared to stuff in the middle and the left. Oh, there we go. I guess he had not moved Hakar before. Hakar getting a charge now. This is gonna be good. You know, Steve has on Vayl, he has the move 3 inches spell. That's blocking me. Admonition. I wonder where he put admonition on. Well, clearly was not that Angelius. That Angelius is gonzo. Brandon's got to be feeling a lot better now. Even if a card dies next turn, big whoop. He just took out a War Beast with a 4-point solo. That's a good surge of confidence boosting. These guys are avoiding the forest as best they can. There's admonition. I think it's safe to assume that his front arc is still facing the enemy. He just moved him backwards for placement ease. You know, normally I like obliteration against swaths of infantry, but immortals are pretty high armor, and viable resolve swordsmen are also decent armor. I don't think he's gonna kill many things with blast damage. I guess he killed like 3 last time. I don't know. Things are looking pretty scary for Steve right now. Alright, looks like the Ancestral Guardian on the right flank advanced. These guys are trying to avoid those little Scather templates, and they're running up. Now that one's saying, screw it, I'm just going to go in the rough terrain. Alright, last stand is still on that right flank of units, that right immortal unit. Got the Ancestral Guardians moseying on up, or Ancestral Soul Wards. Alright, looks like it's Steve's turn. And you know what? I forgot about the Ancestral Soul Wards have guidance where they can give a model eyeless sight, so that will allow a lot of his stuff to charge through a forest if Steve were to back up and shoot. So despite not having Pathfinder, he does have a way to see him through the forest. Scorn's pretty good about that. It's like Steve's thinking, what the hell do I do? Soul Wards also have an eyeless sight. Or not eyeless sights. They can give themselves eyeless sight, and they have a gun that ignores line of sight when making attacks. And it ignores concealment and cover. So yeah, they're actually pretty decent little solo guns because they add the strength of the model hit to the damage roll. I don't think Steve's too worried about guns at this point, but the more you know, knowledge is power. Kovas. Kovas is actually a pretty big threat for Steve. Being incorporeal, like he has to use his caster to take care of it, which kind of always muddies up order of operations when you have to activate your caster before you normally would. And Kovas is another solo that can probably put some real big hurt on any of the War Beasts. Hell, Kovas could. If he gets line of sight, just go straight for the caster, have a big Thresher attack. Oh, looks like we did a purification. It's always a nice spell to have in your arsenal. And put admonition on himself. Seems wise with a bunch of scorn right in front of you. The little pot crew is moving forward. Wow, I've never actually seen them engage the enemy before. That's kind of neat. Go pot crew. Oh, they made a little shredder. For Vayl's spells, in case anyone has never played against her before, she has admonition. You know, you get to move 3 inches if something comes within, I believe, 6 inches of you. It's great for, you know, if someone charges you and you just walk away. Icy Grip, it's a defense debuff, or defense debuff, and I think it also has something to do with running or charging. Obliteration, it's like a POW 15, AoE 4. I could be getting all these wrong, but I'm going off memory right now. Occultation, which stealth, doesn't really need that spell this game. Purification, which we just saw. And Refuge, which he uses for an alpha strike, but I'm not sure how much use Refuge will be right now when you've got guys down your throat. These Ravagors need to do some serious work. Alright, he directly hit that Ancestral Guardian, but it looks like he did not kill. Oh, Vayl also has a nice thing called Spellbound. When she can channel spells through a model hit by an attack made with her weapon. She's got a range 10 weapon. Alright, so Icy Grip is you cannot run or make special attacks and -2 defense. And then Obliteration is a AoE 4 POW 15. Oh, he did take out the soul, the Ancestral Guardian with that. Looks like he took out Kovas, which is a good sighing moment. A sigh of relief. Don't have to worry about that crap. Naga Night Lurker. Naga Night Lurker does have a critical poison, but that's with his ranged attack. With a bite, he does have a critical Shadow Bind. However, if he bites one of these guys, he just usually kills it. Shadow Bind's good for bigger targets, though. Alright, well that went about as expected. He killed some guys, but there's still a million guys in front of him. I'm expecting a feet turn now. With admonition on Vayl. I think he did a good job of keeping his caster safe. He probably has... He might have tenacity on the caster as well, so I don't think Brandon's gonna get an assassination, but I'm thinking he's just gonna keep going for attrition at this point. Check on his control range. If I were a betting man, I would say that Angelius will die, and at least one of the Rabagors will die, and the Seraph will die, and the Naga Night Lurker will die. That's what I'm betting on. We'll see what happens. We saw Steve just make a kill box check. They both should be good. And one thing's for sure, Steve's pot is about to get a lot more corpse tokens. Actually, Brandon may go for the objective on Steve's side just to get that point. Because he's really choked down. Like, it might not be a bad strategy to put pressure on him at two fronts, attrition and scenario. That unit of Immortals on the right flank, I don't think they're close enough to get a charge on his Rabagors now that I look at it, so that objective might be their target of choice. Immortals, by the way, have a PS13 Mat 6. Pretty good. Although they do get a little faster if it begins the activation and command of a ranged friendly Ancestral Guardian. The model gains +2 movement. Wait a second. I think that's an Ancestral Guardian I just read. No, that's Immortals. So some of them can get faster if they're begin the activation and command range of a friendly Ancestral Guardian. It's weird to think stone people getting inspired by other stone people. guessing last stand just got placed on that unit. On the left side now. The unit that has a lot more opportunity to get attacks in. And he's rolling to hit something. Zaal does have a gun, so maybe he's just taking a shot at one of the beasts, get more damage while he can. If Zaal just killed that, I'm impressed. Alright, here they go. Run charge. Uh-oh, Forrest is blocking that one. But with reach, he might get it. He's got 3 successful charges on the Seraph, got 1 charge on the Naga Night Lurker, 1 charge on the actual pot. And these are last standard immortals, by the way, so you can expect some boom boom. Last stand, and even though I don't see a feat token by Brandon, I would be really shocked if this is not his feat turn. Looks like he's using admonition to move his caster up. Kind of confused. I don't know if Steve is throwing in the towel at this point, or if there's some master strategy behind that move. Just Darren Brandon, come at me, bro. Alright, that Naga Night Lurker is out of here. So's the pot, but looks like it got a little lesser right before it died. Here come the Seraph hits. So with last stand in a charge, he's rolling 4 dice, POW 13. And those are boosted to hit, so I'd be really shocked if anything misses. Maybe 5 dice with the feat. I think the feat says boosted, not additional. Either way, that's 1 dead Seraph. I double checked, the Rage of Agents is a boosted melee attack, so the maximum die those guys could get would be 4, 3 from the charge and the 4th one from the last stand. This is usually the point in the game where I throw it. When I'm so far ahead, I get kind of cocky. You know, maybe I feel a little bad for my opponent and I don't play optimally. I'll just move some guys and say, alright, well, I've done enough work. I'll give you a fighting chance. Hopefully Brandon won't fall into that same limitation I put on myself. And I don't think he is. Looks like he's kicking Steve while he's down. Let's take down that objective and keep hitting his war beast. Although it looks super grim for Steve right now. One thing to consider is next turn, a lot of his, at least 3 of his units will be dead from Last Stand. They will be destroyed. Double-edged sword, Last Stand, but I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. Sure, Steve's thinking, are you done yet? You done? You wanna spit in my face? You wanna rub dirt in my eyes? Come on, hurry up. Alright, Steve's turn. Let's see how you miraculously recover or play from this. If it's possible. At this point, you just gotta go for assassination. I mean, attrition's out the door. Scenario's out the door. Yeah, you can see him checking his control area. Zaal looks like he's on a hill with, I wanna say, 2 transfers. 2 Fury. He's got a Ravagore that can potentially shoot him. And of course, he always has Vayl with some obliterations. I don't know what else he has. Oh, he's got 2 Ravagores. That tree was hiding one. You gotta make sure they're not engaged, but the distance doesn't look super far. I think he's got a reasonable shot of assassination this turn. Looks like he's doing just that right now, trying to disengage his Ravagores with some lessers he popped out. And I don't think Vayl has feeded yet, so she's got a decent shot at doing some good damage. This is do or die because she's right up in the thick of things. Oh, I was looking at Marketh as Zaal. I didn't realize how far Zaal was. Zaal's pretty far from the Ravagores, but he's close enough for Vayl to do some work. Obliteration has a range 10. Normally she has spell wards, or she can shoot one of her own war beasts to get a pseudo arc node. But I think she's just trying to get 10 inches away to do the deed herself. If Zaal is back there, I don't see many transfers on him at all. I see 3, but I don't know if that's Zaal's or if that's somebody else's. He's got 3 Fury. That seems pretty hard to kill. We'll see. With reach on a lot of Brandon's models, it's pretty tricky for him to move up his Ravagores too far, because as soon as he engages something, there goes the guns. Alright, Pulling off a chunk of fury there. Oh man, Brandon even has the Kreia next to Zaal, so shooting him off the table is even harder. I mean, he does. Let's see. He does have Purification, but I don't think he can afford to cast Purification. Alright, well, Vayl's just walking right through. She doesn't care about free strikes. Go big or go home. Let's hope Brandon misses. I see a 5. That looks pretty bad. I think he missed. Boy, this is what we call a last-ditch assassination attempt when you're giving your opponent 3 or 4 free strike opportunities. He's counting on his fury. What do we got, Steve? I'm guessing it's an oblit. He's rolling dice to hit. Probably damage 2. Zaal might be naked. I think Zaal's naked. He might pull this off.
Her, just in case this means anything, she's going to appear. She's going to cast Tenacity on Vayl, although it won't matter because I didn't have any trees first. But if this doesn't work, then you probably win. He's going to aim and try to shoot you. He should be in range because I mentioned from your base back. That's 9. Your base to here is 6, so
what's the range?
15.
15.
It's over his. Yeah, he's got it.
Say it's right out, so sure.
That one I knew was going to be close, so I will use my Animus. I'll boost a hit. So I'm at 7. I need a 10. Alright, well, I'll boost the damage roll. Power 15. Maybe. He would move out to here and do the same. So I would need a 12 there, but I think I had a pretty...
I need to watch out for my reach.
Yeah, right there. I'm pretty sure I have a second shot that has a higher than average chance of this, or higher than average chance of this. But I had 3 good shots there. It was really, I debated a long time. I was like, oh, I could stay where I'm at and shoot the Kreia, and then use it as an arc node and obliterate. But then it was like, I'm engaged, so if I don't walk out, I think missing with hitting through one of these is a big deal. Because I healed him up so I could transfer damage too. So, I guess this was a bull crap win.
I think they're both confused how this happened. Legion wins.